Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Briznas from CZT, Verónica, Vázquez, Orozco. I hope I got that close. All right, this is a neat tangle. Actually, and it starts off like one of my favorites, laced. And that is with a couple or as many sets of straight lines as you want. So I'm just going to start here in the corner. And what I like to do is just kind of have them meander, and you're separating them like this. It's almost like drawing, say, railroad tracks or something. Oh, I'm doing mine almost like I did it in my step out. That's funny. All right, we'll make it a little different then. All right. It gets bigger. That's all right. It gets bigger as I go. Um, and so what's fun about this is you could have it go along a border line or a string line, or it could just be your string however you want to have it. Really, really neat. Or a fill-in, super versatile. All right. And I wanted to just give you some ideas. Then in these gaps, we're going to just put giant orbs. And so you determine how big you want your orbs, kind of by how wide you have these, and no rhyme or reason on these at all. And and then two, like here, like, well, I'm gonna move this one up a little bit, so know that you can do that. And then one thing that I found helpful was I was starting my orb on one of the ends, so that way I was making sure. Well, as this one, I've drawn the orb over some of the lines. Oh well. We can take care of some of that in shading. Okay. Oops, sorry. Table's bouncy. All right. So, next step. More orbs. So, what we're going to do, and this is what's fun. What's fun, and also, I mean, I have to take a breath on these things that are just kind of random. And I don't know why I feel like as if there's a right or a wrong. I know there's no right or wrong in Zentangle, but that's how my brain works. So I have to fight it and tell it on purpose. There's no right or wrong. Just put some down. So one way you could start, and I did this in my step out, is just putting some. Not this part yet, but just putting some like this here and there. See what you like. See where it seems to call to you to say, "Put me here. Put me here." And then you can assess and make them different sizes on purpose. And you don't have to have one at every uh, place where the orb meets um, the lines. You don't. And once you get some set, then just add some. And if you are like me, where this is a bit of a challenge, just take a deep breath and know it's this is fun. And for those that have no idea, they're like, "What are you talking about? I have no problem with this." Just never mind. Some of us have challenges, and just kind of go, "Oh, I feel so sorry for you," and 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 um and we'll leave it at that. um, I laugh at it now because I mean, it is kind of funny, but at the same time, it's real. The struggle is real. Just to do some random things, and again, well, for those that don't that don't relate to that, if you don't have that problem, oh, you're so lucky. Um, well, let me take that back. Lucky in a sense. So what I find interesting is, I like the tedious work. I like grid patterns, and I have a few. I'm gonna have to do this sometime. So something else that I haven't done so much lately, but I'm a certified I have advanced certification as a human behavior consultant. So I studied personality styles, and I've done some talks and some and things with businesses and stuff, and I'm just thinking I'm gonna have to design a, some kind of an assessment, because here's my theory. So because I have a lot of analytical in my portfolio, my person. Ooh, that's a great name, personality portfolio. Um, and oh, you know what? I'm gonna connect this coming out here. Sorry, just have to have an extra thought here. And so what I wonder is, is that the reason that I need to have foundational type things that really helps me when I tangle, and and then also I have challenges with more of the free form type things where you just go and don't worry about it. And then vice versa, those that are more outgoing, um, in their personality, and more free spirited, I'm guessing they have less of a challenge with like this where it's random, and more of a challenge when it's structured. I'm gonna have to. I might be asking for some volunteers at some point. So make sure you go onto my website, follow my blog there, because that's where there, and on like the Facebook community, that's where I will announce it. So, all right, so there we go. Next step is really just in decorating. And what I thought was neat on Veronica's uh, on her step out and her artwork, and that links to those are in the description section as well. I'm just going to put some little curved lines on either side of these. Well, now see this, it makes it look like tubes. So it's the shading without shading with your pen, kind of like we use. Gosh, what is it? Stipple and hash marks and cross hatching to do the same thing. These little straight lines. I'm not sure if those are what those are called, because it's just a couple. And what don't do like what I just did here. Let's see if I can rescue that. Okay, I would have them kind of curling up the same direction. So I'm making they're just little minuscule curve lines, and I'm just putting, like I said, on each side. And then she also uh, did what I'd normally do, say with shading, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Put it just a little C shape, like so. Look, see, that looks so neat. And you could put a little, couple dots here. It's like the line dot dot that I love so much, but on an orb. And so without doing any shading, it gives it some character, and it gives it a little bit of as if we were shading. But we will add some graphite though, just because. But I wanted to add that first. It accentuates the graphite even, but it has a neat look, just like that. So you can leave it like this if you want. You don't have to even put those things in if you don't want. But we're going to start off with just putting some graphite right where the orb kind of meets the tube, and just a little. All right. And then I'm just going to bring it down. And say bringing it into the center. You know what? And I just occurred to me, another thing that we could do with this is just like I put those where we put those lines, you could put the shading on one side or both sides, depending on how thick yours are. And then that really accentuates those and the roundness. This I'm just kind of having it go, doing the going under part, which looks neat too. Just looks neat. All right, then. Oh, and actually, since I went over a little bit there, so you can put some graphite if you want. You know what is actually kind of neat is to put it a little ways. This one I already started doing something else, but a little ways in from the edge. And it depends on how big you have yours. But just some graphite. Okay, not this one. This one looks a little too much. But it's all right. That one looks like a potato. Yeah. Oh, and then, so I'm going to use some of what's left. I'm just going to dab on to some of these. See, and if I could grab something, I wonder if this will work. Sometimes I've used the end, and actually I watched my mom do it too. Not as an eraser, but it kind of, just picks up more. Because I can't pick up more on here necessarily, because it's kind of already full. Oh, and see, and just kind of dabbing here and there, and I'm sorry for my table. I need to tighten some screws underneath there. Just dabbing it here and there adds to it without, doing anything necessarily on purpose. So have fun with that too. All right. That is it. What a fun tangle, right? All right. So if you enjoyed the video, would love to have a thumbs up. And if you liked it enough to see more, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I would be so honored if you did. Subscribing to the channel is free, of course. And remember to look in the description section for the links to the step outs. Sometimes, and I think it's just on my desktop when I'm on YouTube on my desktop, it's hard. I found it hard to find the description section fairly recently, and there's just a little down arrow kind of opposite the side of like where the title is, somewhere over there. And then it's like, oh, there's the description, because I kept finding comments, and then there's the ad thing, and I was on another video, and I was like, oh, where is that? And so I wanted to make sure to say that that's where it is. Also below the step out links, ways to connect with me if you so desire. I do both free and paid classes. I have a weekly, actually 2 free sessions on Thursdays. I do the same tangle twice a day. Lots of fun. So would love to have you join us. And then I have some other ones throughout the month. But would love to have you join us. All right. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.